We're good. Okay.
Golden.
Welcome back to David and Tom Do a Podcast. Tom and David Do a Podcast. What's it called?
Yeah, Tom
Man,
and
it's
David-
been a while.
It has been. Tom and David do a podcast. It's been
Yeah, so
half a
the-
year probably.
the last time that we talked, you were on your way to Korea.
No way.
Yeah, I think that was
Okay.
it. You were like about to head out. And we were like making jokes about you like being in charge of all these kids. So how did it go?
Man, okay, that was last year, like June, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
So what it was like 8 months ago.
Yeah? That sounds about right.
How did it go? It went all right. In terms of like getting gold and becoming international superstars. It went all right. In terms of the trip itself, it was actually really good. So it was kind of broken up into two segments. There was like a training session that went on throughout the entirety of the week, and then at the very end was the actual tournament itself. I think that we gained a lot of information, or gained a lot of data. That's my data scientist mind speaking.
There
Gained a
it
lot
is,
of data,
yeah.
Gained a lot of good skills, expertise, and knowledge when we were there in terms of, this is for a Taekwondo tournament. So it's a Taekwondo tournament. I am the head coach of Taekwondo for the University of San Francisco. And there is a collection of schools along the West Coast that formed like a collegiate circuit. And I took all the students who won who were the top of the collegiate circuit from all the way from like Seattle down to, I guess, California, because we're the last before Mexico. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. That's top to bottom there.
Yeah,
the whole
top to bottom,
country.
all on the West Coast. So I took them all. Went to a tournament in Korea at Chosun University, which is like very southern Korea. So like Seoul is more in the northern South Korea, because obviously it's not. You get it.
I gotcha. In the country of South Korea, it's in the north.
Yes, northern South Korea.
I don't think you're allowed to go to North Korea.
You need like a lot of permissions to get there, but apparently you can. And they're gonna
Like for tourism, you can go to North Korea.
tourism quotes, because you can go to North Korea, but it's what the North Korean government wants to show you. So you're being chaperoned by the North Korean government, so they can show you like, look at all these people who are happy, and it's just a bunch of people smiling like, keep smiling and we'll shoot you. Or then they'll like,
Oh,
look,
no.
look, we have farms. It's like some guy that's on a farm, or like, okay, now you're allowed to stay in this one hotel, because they have one hotel. You're allowed to stay in this hotel.
How do you know all this? Have you been there?
No, but I know a guy who really wanted to go, and so he did a lot of research on how to do it, and so I learned a lot about what happens in not what happens per se, because I think only like top government officials knows what's going on in North Korea, but I learned a lot about what is seen through the eyes of people who go to North Korea.
Okay.
Actually, in podcasts too, I heard one recently that was pretty interesting. It wasn't necessarily about North Korea. It was this. He was a negotiator, and he like wrote a bunch of books about negotiation, and he does like negotiations, like peace treaty negotiations across like the globe. And so it was before Trump was in office. Obama, he like, as he was passing the torch, one of his big things he said to the Trump administration was like, watch out for North Korea, shit's going down.
Okay. Oh no.
And so one of the things they had to figure out is like, for the negotiation, is like, what does Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-un, what does he want, right? Like, how does his mind work? What's ticking up there? Because nobody really knows, at least not on the outside of like people who directly deal with him, outside of North Koreans. Like, nobody actually knows like what's going on up there. Like, what is his motivation for doing things? Where does he want to go? And so what he had to do in order to begin negotiations is he had to get help from Dennis Rodman.
I did know that he was like an ambassador for the United States.
He was one of the very few, if not one of the only people who had interactions with Kim Jong-un in the U.S. This is before Trump met him.
You have to think that that's like odd, right?
Kind of. So, turns out, he grew up, Kim Jong Un. He grew up watching American basketball. In America, he grew up watching.
There's basketball everywhere. There's like Olympic basketball.
That's true. So he grew up watching the NBA, and so he was a huge fan of because I think he's around our age actually. So he's a huge fan of the Chicago Bulls, and Michael Jordan and all, Scottie Pippen back in that day.
Sure.
So his favorite athlete was Dennis Rodman, and so he had the opportunity because he has the power. Basically, he sent him an invite like, "Hey, I love basketball. Please come. I lead a nation.
Come to North Korea."
Yeah.
And we were like, "Dennis, we need you to do this for us."
Dennis Rodman's like, "Okay."
Whatever you guys say. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it was interesting because they found out what his motivation, what he wants, is that his lifelong goal, or what he wants to see, is he wants to be able to, I forgot exactly the phrasing, but he says that he just wants to go to New York and just walk down the street like a normal person.
Dennis Rodman?
No, Kim Jong Un. That's what.
I think those days are gone, pal.
That's what he told Dennis Rodman, which is very interesting to hear coming from the leader of North Korea say that.
Well, I mean, a lot of celebrities will say something like that. Like, I just want to be able to go and just walk down the street and not be bothered. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I feel like he wants to travel. It's not weird to want to travel. Not that I'm justifying the behavior of Kim Jong-un.
It's not that it's weird that what he wants. It's weird that it's coming from him.
Okay. I'm on board with this, man. But that's that the whole interaction is really bizarre. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, actually, not to be... we're about to get political here, but I'm not a Trump supporter. Surprise.
That's fair to it's fair to assume neither of us are living in California, specifically the San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah.
They're not going to find a lot of those out here.
No, but actually that is one thing that Trump did that was actually pretty good.
What's that?
Basically made Kim Jong-un not necessarily want to push the fire button on America so quickly.
Right. Although he did have that fire and fury thing, didn't he?
Against us?
No, that's what Trump said to Kim Jong-un. He's like, you will be met with a fire and fury that you've never seen before. Something like that. It was that was the joke that Dave Chappelle made. Is he was throwing down rap battle threats to Kim Jong-un.
Yeah. But I don't know, once they met up, things simmered down. Not saying that everything's perfect and everything's great, but we're not worrying about a nuclear holocaust anytime soon.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, not from them. Yeah. Certainly not from North Korea. Yeah. I hope, Yeah. Are you drinking a Thanos was right cup?
Yeah, I am. It's one of those days.
You would, of course you would have that. Stone Cold Slytherin right here, guys.
Very, very true.
You went to Harry Potter Land and got yourself a wand. And, most people, when they go...
This is the transition.
This is... Well, there was a transition. Don't bother me like that. So there was... You went to Harry Potter Land.
Mm.
That's not a weird thing to say.
No. We're just talking about dictators and nuclear holocausts, right. And now Harry Potter.
Yeah, we're segueing away from World War III because that's a depressing topic. Okay, so you went to Harry Potter Land... And most people go in Gryffindor gear or I don't know, some Hufflepuff, some Ravenclaw, but you are a Slytherin. You've decided that you are from the House of Slytherin. Yeah. You are going to embrace your Slytherinity, and you did the whole scarf and you got the wand. You even did I see you had glasses or was that Gad?
They're blue light.
You
glasses.
did have glasses.
They're blue light glasses that I wear when I'm really focused for work.
Do you? Are they circular? You bought Harry Potter.
They're not circles per se. They're if you had aviators, but then just made them clear. Kind of like hipster glasses, if you will. Kind of little hipster glasses.
Okay. How was the journey there? I haven't been.
So I guess my journey is going to be a little bit different than anyone else's journey here because I went to the Harry Potter Land in Japan. So I was in Osaka. Universal Studios.
Okay.
So that's a whole nother thing because I went to Japan for like a long time.
Yeah.
Came back.
That's right. We got to talk about that too, because you did go to Japan.
Yeah.
You visited your brother,
Yeah.
who that's a whole thing we should talk
Yeah,
about.
that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
I was gone for a while, man.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Which is really nice. I needed that. I have that, like, I'm getting that itch again. Where I'm just like, oh god, I think I need to travel again, man.
I might need to get out there and travel again.
Not necessarily. Yeah, I've been in one location for far too long. And I was talking with my friend.
Right, because you went to Japan for the purpose of, I want to see if it's possible to work from a different country, which you did. I mean, you're a contractor. It's perfectly, that's like, I know a few people that have done that, but you went to Japan for like 3 months, right?
Yeah.
And you kept going with your work and stuff like that, and that was really funny because we kept trying to play Fortnite because that's like how you and I talk.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I need to chat about something semi-serious. Get on Fortnite,
Yeah.
and it's like,
It's our
but the
meeting
internet at your B&B or air hotel, I mean, it was like from 1964, which was like 30 years before the internet was invented.
Dude, I had to
So-
I had to get some couple hamsters to get the wheel going for that one. Some Japanese hamsters.
Yeah.
It's okay. How to break this down? So, so I guess we'll start. Even though it's not in the ending, it's kind of in the middle of the trip. I went to Osaka for a while because most of my stay was in Tokyo. So in Osaka they have Universal Studios, and they have this other place. I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's like an anime theme park. It has like a bunch of different anime themed things, and so our mutual friend Gage actually came to visit, and he was going to Osaka, and so I kind of joined up with him, and we went out there together. Tokyo and Osaka are very like somewhat different places. Tokyo's the more how does someone describe it? They said like Tokyo is like New York and Osaka is like San Francisco. So Osaka's like a lot more laid back and friendly, or is, I guess pre-tech San Francisco, if you will.
Yeah.
So anyways, out in Osaka, and Gage and I decide we're gonna go to this anime theme park. And we head out there, and we get a cab, and it's not close to the city. It's probably like an hour's drive. So we're in the cab for like an hour, and we finally get there. And it is pouring rain the whole time. And it's an outdoor theme park. So everything we were trying to do... Oh, it wasn't just rain. It was like thundering. Just lightning.
That sounds like it's out of Harry Potter. Like something that might happen in one of the books where you go to the castle and it's just pouring rain.
Yeah, so this isn't the Harry Potter one. This is the anime place. So we're like, okay, we're still going to try and see as many places as we can. We're checking out all the places, and a lot of things are shutting down because they're like, we don't want people to get struck by lightning. So we're inside this like tiny little noodle stand, that's munching on our noodles. And this guy comes up to us because I think he heard us speaking English, and he says like, oh, so how are you guys getting back? And we're like, oh, we just took a cab, so we're just going to take a cab back. And he gave us this look, like, and said very slowly,
Taking a cab?
oh,
Ugh.
okay, and just walked away. I didn't think much of it at the time. I was too happy eating my ramen, right? Which ramen in Japan, phenomenal.
Is that a weird thing to do? Take a cab in Japan?
I don't think so. I mean, trains are everywhere, but there's a reason that was like that.
Oh, sure.
I found out. So night was coming to an end. Things are closing. I mean, more things were closing because a lot of things were closed because of the thunderstorms. So like, okay, we got to get back into the city, and maybe we'll meet up with some people and like grab food or something like that. So we go to like the parking lot, and we're trying to hail a cab, and it says like on Uber like no rides available. Like, oh, what do you mean no rides available?
What happened?
Like, okay, well, let's go see if we can like walk around. So we start leaving the park, and we didn't realize that once you leave the park, it's pretty much a highway. So you can't actually go onto the road to like walk to a new town or anything. So we're like,
Okay.
oh shit, well, we can't walk to another place to see if we can find an Uber or a cab or something. it's getting dark, it's raining on us, and we're kind of stuck here. So we realize now why the guy asked how we're getting back. Because you have to pre-order some bus tickets and go to their special bus station to get back into the city, which we did not do at all. So
It sounds like you didn't know you had to do that too.
No, we didn't. We were So we're stranded, and it's on an island too, by the way. To take a bridge over to get there. So we're stranded on this island.
Yeah.
with no cabs, no buses, no nothing, and we can't walk back either.
Oh my god. Okay.
So
what happened?
So luckily, I don't panic. I don't panic that often.
Yeah.
So
Often.
So I go over. Eventually, we find somebody, and I start panicking. And I let them know that, hey, like in broken Japanese, and help with Google Translate. Which, by the way, the signal, because you're on an island, is also pretty awful. So Google Translate's not even working properly. So I had to use as much broken Japanese as I can to basically beg the person for help. And so they eventually were able to get someone on the phone from a cab company and have them drive out here. It took them like 45 minutes to get there. That's how far away they were. So they finally drove all the way out there. And the guy, in Japan specifically, most of the cab drivers don't like to use directions, like any sort of maps, so not like Waze or Google Maps.
That's not really a Japanese thing. Most cab drivers don't.
Yeah, most? Yeah. So, we told him where we're going, and we're driving, he was driving back, because he knew how to get off the island. So he got off the island, just pulled over to the side of the road, took out one of those folding maps. It was like,
okay, now that's ridiculous. Where if he's going old school, that's like using a rotary phone. Somebody pulls out like an old bat phone, and they start like, it's like, come on, man, just pick up your cell phone.
Yeah.
Like use the technology that's available to you right now.
We had to call you on something. Just use that.
Yeah.
He's like, nope.
What did they call him on? No. Okay.
It's like pointing. He was like, okay, there we go. Because he asked us, like, oh, do you know where we're going? No, man, I'm not from
We're
this
not
country.
from here, man. Did people speak English in Japan? I kind of just assumed they didn't.
In Tokyo, a lot of people do, especially if they're like in the service industry. They do.
Sure.
The farther out from Tokyo you go, the less and less they speak.
Okay.
Yeah, so you kind of actually put it on a graph, like a radial graph, to figure out how much English do they speak? How far away from Tokyo am I?
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm sure you could find somebody that speaks every language in the San Francisco proper.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, once you come out here to the East Bay, no, you're not finding nobody that speaks I don't know, Swahili or German or any of those other ones. Yeah.
Yeah, but generally, even in the major cities like Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto specifically, so mainly Tokyo and Kyoto, you're going to find a lot of the signs are Japanese, English, and Korean. Oh, and Chinese too, actually.
Oh.
There's a lot of Chinese tourists everywhere.
Yeah, I think we said this on the podcast before. Like, I had a buddy that went to the Middle East, and he's like, I can't read any of these signs. They're all in squiggly lines. And he's like, I don't know how to get around. Like, fortunately, there's phone service out there, so you can read it in English. But yeah, that was really funny. Like, before, it was just like, okay, I guess I need to somehow match these squiggly lines to those ones.
Yep.
Which I realize they're letters. They're just a different alphabet. But still, that's kind of... even if it was in a different language but the same alphabet, you could still semi-follow it. But if it's not even the same letters, how do you get around?
Yeah.
It's like, just follow the stars.
Yeah, my favorite feature about Google Translate is they have a Google Translate picture. So you just open your phone and point it at something, and it'll real time translate what you're looking at.
Shut up.
Yeah. It's dope. It's so helpful.
I need to download that immediately.
It's straight up in Google Translate. They added a little section with a camera. You just push the
but Google Translate's an app you have to download, correct?
Yeah. You don't have that?
No. Why would I have that?
I don't know. You want to order a burrito from a really amazing Mexican spot?
I mean, I know enough Spanish to sleep on a park bench and or order burritos, but I mean, that's about it. I mean, I've been in California my whole life. But yeah, if we went to a different country, I'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
You've been to I want to say in the double digits of countries, right? You're up to 20 countries, I would
last
say.
time I checked was like, I think it was 16.
Okay, almost. I was close.
Yeah.
I've been to one. Two if you count the USA. I've been to 2 countries. I went to Mexico on my honeymoon, and that's it for 2 weeks. And then I've been all over the U.S. I mean, granted, the U.S. is huge, but still, it's still our country. I take that back. I went to Canada. I went like this far into Canada. But still, that's like our, you know what I mean? But you went all the way through Europe and Greece and didn't you go to the top part of Africa too? Yeah, you went to Egypt. Yeah. And South America. So like the next trip is going to be South America, and you're hopefully going to be there for a couple of months. The difference being is that in this trip, you're going to be going down there, and you're not going to have anybody that you know down there, right?
Nobody, yeah.
Like, right, because you had your brother in this one, but you did not have in this new one. You're not going to have anybody that you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come down and join you for a little while. Maybe
That'd
that'll
be
be
fun,
fun. Yeah.
That'd be fun. Some of these flights are pretty cheap, especially if I find a spot like. You
Yeah,
crash?
I'll sleep on the floor. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've just crashed in many hotel rooms together.
Yeah.
Like that was our Don't Make It Weird video was really funny. The robes was my favorite part. The hot tub was weird. Although we did meet that executive that worked for, what was it, CBS? He was like, I work on these shows, and all of those pain in the ass artists that, they're so hard to work with. And you and I are like, this is amazing, because that was in Vegas, right? No, Texas. That was in Austin, right? Yeah, that was in Austin. And we stayed at that what was it? Not Hilton. It was Marriott, maybe? No, it was like the huge one there.
Yeah.
I just remember that I physically ran into Simone Biles. Do you remember this story?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us.
This was nuts. I was there for a conference, and for anybody listening, because I know you know this, but when I go to a conference, I can't take my wife, which I would love if she'd be able to travel with me, but we have 3 kids. She can't just up and leave. We are kids. So usually I'm like, bring David, what are you doing on this 2 or 3 days? So he's like, I guess I'm going to be working from a hotel room in Austin, Texas. That's going to be fun. So we go to Texas, I do the conference, and I'm a videographer. So I take the camera, and I go into the bar of this of this hotel, and there's this big tree in there, and it's going to be some amazing B-roll. So I start shooting with my big camera, which is this one right here, and I go down and I'm starting to shoot all of the, this tree, this bar, and the manager comes running up to me and goes, "What are you doing?" And I go, "Oh, I'm here for the conference. I'm just, I'm getting some B-roll for the footage. It's going to be fine." And they go, "Oh, okay, gotcha. Just so you know, we have a celebrity here, and they wouldn't want to be in any videos." And I'm like, "Oh, say no more. That's fine. I'm this isn't really part of the story anyway. I'm just trying to, so say the word and I'm out of here." So I go into the elevator, I go and put my camera away, and you and I are going to go kayaking right after that, because we're the conference was over and we were going to stay an extra day. So we were on our way to the kayaks. The doors open and I slam into this person who was standing right in front of the door. The polite, etiquette says that you wait for people to get off and then you get on. But I think it's a child because this person's really small. And so I'm 6'3". You know what I mean? So, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Thank you." And I look back and it's Simone Biles, because I think she's 4'10" or something like that. But she's an Olympic gymnast. And a lot of them are really short, because that's you're able to, anyway. But yeah, so I look back and I'm like, "Oh, hey." And I immediately I'm like, "Oh, I know who they're talking about now." Of course, I'm sure she wouldn't want to be on camera, which I wouldn't have. I mean, I'm not the paparazzi, but that was just such a weird interaction to have. And it was preceded by, I can't tell you who it is, just don't be taking any more video down here. Okay, that's totally fine. And then immediately see that person afterwards. But what was funny is I had the camera still, because we were going kayaking, and I was like, "Oh, I should probably bring this to film." Yeah. Even though I went up to put it away and came back, I was like, "No, I need to keep it." So she sees the camera, and I can see her people kind of walk around her, because she was rolling with 5 or 6 people, and they all and I'm like, "No." As the doors are closing in the elevator, I'm like, "I'm not the paparazzi," I'm like, "I'm just some idiot with a camera. I'm sorry." So yeah, there's no possible way she's gonna see this video, but if she does, I was not there to take photos of you. I was there for a conference.
It's funny because I actually saw her before you came out the elevator and said it, I just didn't know I didn't recognize her at first because I saw this like tiny black girl surrounded by like a group of people. They came
Yeah.
off the elevator. They would think they're going to the pool, but like some of them were wearing swimsuits and some of them were wearing suits. I was like, that's kind of weird, like an odd combination that they're all in one group yet all dressed that differently.
Oh, like the security was
Yeah.
wearing
So I was
suits.
just kinda, like, staring at it, like, what am I looking at here? I'm like, I don't know. Whatever. And I
Yeah.
because I remember
That's
also
right.
thinking
She
like,
was in a
that
swimsuit.
person's-
I kind of didn't clock that, but
yeah.
now that you say that,
I was like,
yeah.
I was looking, I was like, that person's really small. Whatever.
Yeah.
Going back to what
Olympic
I'm doing,
gymnast,
I was
guys.
like,
Olympic
reading
gym. One of the best that's ever lived. Big fan. Was not there for you. Just FYI.
Just went back reading a book, just waiting for Tom, and then you come out and
Yeah.
you're like, I just saw Simone Biles.
Yeah.
And like then it like all clicked. I was like, oh, that's
That makes
who
more
I
sense.
saw.
Although it seems strange that she would be hanging out in the lobby for you to see.
Well,
but-
they popped out of the elevator. They all walked out. I couldn't hear what they were talking about. Talking about something. And they all just like left.
Okay.
I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, must be part of the conference, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, real estate agents can be all shapes and sizes, people.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, that's funny. But yeah, that was a good one. Why were we talking about this? Oh, because you're going to go to South America. Okay, so what country are you going to next? Did you say it already? Argentina?
No, I didn't. That is actually on my list. But so I've been thinking about this recently. Yeah, this is like there's a lot of things that have been changing over this past week for me, and so I'm definitely
Okay.
Colombia is where I want to go. Colombia,
Okay.
but I don't
With
know if I wanna
Cartagena?
go- I'm not sure if I want to go there next. Probably Medellin, but yeah. So I'm thinking that I might want to do a quick.
Why would you want to go to Medellin?
That's I don't know. Isn't that like
Pablo Escobar?
Is it?
Yes.
I- isn't
That's
like-
where Pablo Escobar's compound is, where he like terrorized people.
Okay. I haven't done much
I mean,
research.
so I heard on the TV show Entourage, but I'm pretty sure that's where that's from.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I hear like the big hotspot right now for people for digital nomads is Colombia for South America. It's like Colombia and Thailand are the two big ones right now. And
Okay.
so I don't think Colombia knows that it's a hotspot at the moment. So that's why I want to go there right now. I'm like,
Because
okay.
the government hasn't figured it out yet
Yeah,
that they're
so I
the
want to go there
hotspot.
before it becomes way too like they start jacking up the prices, and touristy, and everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Picking up what you're putting down here, buddy.
Yeah,
I like that.
but I'm thinking I might actually want to do a quick trip in March somewhere, which I realize is a couple weeks.
Yeah, we're talking that's like 10 days away. Isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's 6 days away. There's only
Yeah.
28 days in February, right?
Yeah, because I say I'm teaching, and it's spring break in March, so I'm like,
Ah.
maybe during spring break I should like use this time to go travel and go visit somewhere. You know,
Where?
I don't know. I haven't figured that one out yet. And
Are you talking about like somewhere in the U.S., like you want to go see the Grand Canyon or the Big Arch or New York City or something? Or are you talking about like I want to go to Brazil for
Again, I
a
haven't
week?
figured that one out.
Oh, okay.
Which I
There's
have
a lot of
seen
cool
the Grand
places in the
Canyon.
U.S., man. Not that I'm saying you shouldn't travel internationally. Like I definitely could break in my passport a little bit more than the one stamp that's in there. But there's a lot of cool places in the U.S. You just need your ID to go.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Which I had to get the whole real ID thing. Have you had to get that yet?
My ID expired about a year ago
Yeah.
or 8 months ago.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's like one extra form to just get it, so just do it. You know what I mean? So there was like, it was one of those. It didn't make sense not to.
Yeah. Well, for me, they had me go into the actual DMV to do it. Which
Oh,
is-
I always go into the DMV.
I hate it
I don't ever mail stuff in. I always go into the DMV proper.
so much. So
The thing is when you go out here, like I get the peninsula or in any of the major cities, it's like a huge pain in the ass. But when you go somewhere that's like kind of out in the middle of nowhere, there's really not a line. Like I'm never there for more than an hour. Like I remember in San Francisco when I had to renew my license and I was sitting in the lobby for 4 straight hours. I remember I pounded 2 Starbucks, and by the time I got up there, they were like, made me do the vision test. But like I'd had so much caffeine, things were like kind of like, shaky and blurry. And I was like, oh no, what did I do? So I'm like, I can like see it, but I'm like squinting. So I'm like, okay, I got this. Like I do have good enough vision that I was able to pull it off, but it did freak. I was like kind of like so wired up by the time I got there. Yeah. The lady was like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. Just let's get this over with.
Yeah, so I got there. My appointment was at 10:10. I got there at 10 o'clock. But they had me wait in line to go check in.
You do appointments too. You're like responsible.
Yeah, so I had to wait in line to check in, and I got to the front of the line, of the check-in line at 10:30. It says, "What time is your appointment?" I was like, 10:15, because that's what I thought it was. I totally screwed up. And she was like, we're just off by 5 minutes. She was like, actually, your appointment's at 10:10. I was like, well, actually, I was here at 10, and I had to wait in line 30 minutes to get to you. So it's on you now, lady.
Yeah, come on. You can't have a line that long.
Yeah.
Wait, it was a 30-minute line for appointments?
Yeah.
Usually there's a separate line that you can stand in. Are you sure you got in the right line?
This is the separate line.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, the other line was way farther back.
Which one did you go to?
Daly City.
Well, that's your problem. Daly City is like just on the tail end of San Francisco.
Yeah,
That's going to be heaps. Come out to the East Bay. You and I'll go work out. You'll spend 40 minutes total in the DMV without an appointment. I never go in with an appointment. I just show up with paperwork. I'm like, hey, I have to file this. And they go, okay, wait for 30 minutes. And then, yeah, it'll be great.
So lucky.
It'll be great.
Definitely not like that.
So lucky. It's just don't go in the city. That's the only caveat. There's no more magic to it than that.
It was okay. It was the way I could get the fastest appointment. Was that one? So I was like,
I believe you.
I just didn't. It's so. I just don't. I hate the DMV because that's just the start of it. And then I had to wait like an hour in order to. Luckily, it was only an hour for them to like take my picture, basically.
Okay.
That's it.
Only 1 hour.
Yeah. That's it. You just take my picture and we're good to go. Yep. Like, all right.
Yeah.
Because by the time
Sorry,
you're done, this is why everybody's DMV picture or ID picture, driver's license photo sucks. Because they're sitting there waiting for hours. They're just annoyed, tired, or on way too much caffeine. And you say,
Although, hang on. I purposefully I try to get the most ridiculous photo that they'll let me get away with. So this is my DMV photo. Just so you can see it. It's like it's completely absurd. Like I look like a serial killer, but my hair is messed up. I look surprised.
you look
It's
like your brother.
I look. Yeah, I do kind of look like Dan in that photo. But yeah, what was funny is because the photo is like this and my hair is crazy. And the guy was like, what's funny is that was the retaken photo. Like he took the original photo. He was like, I think I caught you off guard. And then he took a second one and that was the approved one. Like how ridiculous is that? That was so yeah, there was one that was more absurd, but they didn't let me get away with that one. But I tried to get an absurd photo because I like to make, if you ever get pulled over, like I've successfully talked my way out of 2 tickets. I've only been pulled over like 3 or 4 times, but like I talked my way out of 2 of them. One was a hockey and one was I made the guy laugh. And so if he pulls out a photo and he's like, "What is this picture?" I'm like, "Let me tell you." It's just I feel like it's a better way to like engage with people that have to see my ID or anybody at the airport. Although I feel like if somebody saw that and they're like, "This guy is a bomber.
Yeah.
He needs to be flagged immediately."
Yeah.
It's like, but that's why you get clear. I have clear now. They just scan my eyeballs. I don't have to show my ID.
Nice. Yeah, I've talked my way out of most of my tickets. Only one of them actually went through. One of them was because I actually made them laugh, but it was unintentional. So I got pulled over. And I was just waiting, right? And I was waiting. I was like, wow, where is he? He's not coming over. And I didn't know he went to the other side of my car. So he tapped on my my passenger
side
seat,
window?
tapped on it, and I yelled. I wasn't expecting it because I was like looking in the side mirror. I was like, I don't see him at all. There's a ding ding. Ah! Yeah, that was pretty much the guy's reaction too.
That's outstanding. Oh my god. So he laughed and he was like, "Just slow it down, will
Yeah,
you?" And then,
yeah, pretty much. Because every time it's speeding, every time.
yeah. The thing is okay. So for a lot of those cars, especially like yours, where there isn't a ton of torque,
Yeah.
like you can get up to speed and go really fast, and it doesn't feel like you're going that fast.
Yeah.
Like I've done that because we have the big. We've got an SUV because I've got 3 kids. We travel a lot, so we go down to Orange County, and on Highway 5, where it's just 6 hours of nothing out there. It's like, all of a sudden you look down, and I'm like, oh, 90, Jesus. Like, I didn't mean to go that fast. It's just, there's kind of nothing around, and it doesn't feel like we're going that fast. But all of it, you just have to, I don't know, I just have to pay attention to that. But, most of the people that are going down that road are going real fast. But not that that's an excuse to speed, but it doesn't feel like you're going that fast.
Man, yeah, and on the 5, I go 90, and I always get, like, everybody's passing me up.
Yeah,
Like,
people fly down that road.
When I was driving down there with, like, my ex, she kept calling me a slow driver. I was like, I'm going, like, 90, 95. What are you talking about?
Yep. Yeah, and then, you got to get behind the trucks because the people are flying by you.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like Highway 5, especially for us Californians, is like as close to the Autobahn as you can get. Like, granted, we're usually not pushing more than 100, but still.
A dude flipped me off for going 90. He kept, like, honking, came over, just, like, flipped me off and kept going.
I feel like that says more about him than it says about you driving. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's the 5 culture, right?
Sure.
That's what it is. God, this guy's...
If anybody screams up on me,
driver.
dude, I got 3 kids in the car, so I always just get over behind the truck. I'm like, you can't really be in a hurry, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like it's like, all right, just go. I'll get back into the fast lane, eventually. But if there's anybody like that, it's like, I don't care. If maybe somebody's got a pregnant woman in the back of the car. You know what I mean? Or maybe their house is on fire or something. They have to get home. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. So you go ahead. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel. That's how I deal with that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's just like, fucking, you do go about your life.
It's just not worth it to, like, I don't know, try and piss them off or get all heated over anything. It's just like, dude, just go around. Just go. Like,
this is totally an intrusive thought.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody does that to me, or they're really angry, or they fly by, or they do some dangerous move that's like they're weaving in and out of traffic, immediately I think, wow, they're gonna die badly. And I can't help but think that, but it's like, I just like, you know what, go about your life, because I'm not gonna die that way.
So you ever do this thing where someone's driving very badly and you get around them and then you look to see if they look as stupid as they drive?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Usually it's somebody driving really slowly, and I'm like, I have to see if this person's 1,000 years old or if they're a toddler behind the wheel.
Yeah.
And usually it's somebody that's like on their phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the first thought is like, okay, this person is 99 years old and they're going slowly.
This one time, this dude was like hella tailgating me. He started flickering his lights and everything. And like, the thing is that there was a car in front of me. It's like, what do you want me to do about this guy? Like, go around, buddy. So we kind of came to like a stop, and he came to the side, and he did that to me. He came to look at me. I remember I turned and like looked at him, and he made eye contact. I just went,
no! You can't be threatening people on the road, David.
And he immediately like shot forward, eyes straight, just dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like the doughiest looking white guy I've ever seen. So it's like
oh, that's funny. Doughy as in doe-eyed or doughy as in chubby?
Yes.
All of the above.
All of the
okay.
above.
Doe-eyed, ingenue white guy who is.
Don't be looking at me like I'm the stupid driver.
I'm not sure why this just made me think of this, but you're not a theater guy. Have you ever seen the show Les Mis or Les Miserables, the movie?
Yeah,
or whatever. So I haven't either, even though I've been a theater guy like my whole life. I that's like the one I've never seen, and that's like for the like the reason it's sort of like the super hardcore theater people are like, this is the best show. And it's like, that's what people sing and stuff like that. And I'm like, and now it's sort of just a point of like, I haven't seen it and I'm not going to. Although I have to, I feel like, because I looked up the plot and it seems like a really cool plot. Like the whole idea of the show is like, okay, that would be a movie that I would watch. But it's just like, I've seen how much people nerd out about it. It's like a guy that gets out of prison, immediately breaks the law again, and the cop that let him out wants to catch him again, but he's running from the law, and he takes this little girl under his wing whose mom dies.
Hugh
It's like,
Jackman's in it, yeah?
yeah, he's the guy, Jean Valjean. Which, that's a cool name, too. It's like, all right, I gotta watch the thing.
No,
Aaron Tveit in it, if that's how you pronounce his name, and Anne Hathaway, and a bunch of other people. So it's like, yeah, I guess it's time. I gotta do it. Maybe you can come over and we can watch it. We can like theater nerd together.
I mean, I'm not a thespian, but I hear amazing things. And so I'm down.
I don't think you have to be to appreciate a movie.
A musical, yeah.
Do you not like music? You could like music. I don't know why my voice went up that high. Do you like music though?
No, that's true. There's only I can only handle so many. I mean, okay.
You're not a show tunes guy.
I'm not. But you know, I can handle a musical once a year or something.
Okay. Does that include Disney movies?
No.
No, it doesn't.
No.
That's like a whole different genre, right? That's
Yeah.
like something different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's definitely
I'm due for a musical.
Okay. All right. We'll have to do it. We'll watch it. Okay. Yeah, I see your shirt. Sports. Is there is that just what was the next in the rotation, or did you go and see some sporting event recently?
No, it's just what's next in the rotation for me.
Okay, let's talk about the Super Bowl. So the 49ers were in the Super Bowl. Do you know what sport I'm talking about?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. You're not a sports guy. You didn't know who Klay
Unbelievable.
Thompson was. Like, this is important information that you need to know. So it's like, it's the 49ers
Taylor
football.
Swift's boyfriend?
Well, it's Travis Kelce, correct, and he played in the Super Bowl. He grabbed his coach too. He's like, you never see players scream at their coach, and that's what he grabbed him. It was like, that would be like somebody at one of your tournaments, like grabbing you and be like, "What are you doing?" And it was one of those. It's like, oh my god, so things are spiraling out of control.
Yeah,
but that game, man. It was like an intense game, but it was one of those, like, the universe wanted the Chiefs to win, I feel like, because the 49ers were ahead the whole game. The Chiefs scored the last touchdown, and they were down by 3, I think, and they scored the last touchdown in overtime, too. It was like, but there were 2 plays during the game which got them in a place where they were tied at the end of the game. Like, they scored a touchdown because there was a punt. The 49ers defense was just locking down the Chiefs the whole game. And they punt, and the ball just takes a really funky hop, and it bounces off one of our blockers' legs, and then it takes a second funky hop, and then our receiver can't get their hands on it. So it's like, yeah, it was one of those things. And then the next play they score a touchdown. So it was one of those. That was one of the reasons they were in. And then they also blocked a point after, which is like a free point. That never happens. Nobody blocks PATs, but they did, and it was the universe just wanted the Chiefs to win. I know you don't give a shit.
Do you
about
remember the old
any
game
I'm talking
NFL Blitz?
No.
Really? Oh man, it was so much fun.
I wasn't allowed video games when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't start playing video games until shortly before I met you, which was only about 10, 12 years ago.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. No, I was go outside and play Family House.
Well,
so it wasn't until college that I was like, wait, can I? It was like we'd moved out. I'd been out for a while, and it was like, all right, let's go out. And I was, work out and all that. And then it eventually got to like, wait, I'm an adult. I can have video games now.
I was allowed 2 hours a week of game time.
Okay.
One of the games was called NFL Blitz, and it was the most absurd game ever because, you play that football game, hand egg, and you're... But the thing is safety and rules were kind of thrown out the window in this game.
Sure.
Like you just flat people out, and then when they're on the ground, you can do like WWE moves and like elbow them on the ground and everything.
Sure.
And it was encouraged in the game.
As it is.
Yeah, and if you're doing really well, you can get on fire, and then you're running back and just like plow through the line, and people like literally go flying as you hit them. But the point is, going all the way back, talking about the 1 point with the kicker, the free point. In the game, you had the choice, obviously, go for the kick or go for 2. Going for the kick, they didn't even play the game. They just gave you the free point. They're like, here you go. Let's move on with the game.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how it is. It's like, it's literally like a 15-yard kick. It's like nothing. You know what I mean? And so, like, the fact that they blocked one, but the fact that they were tied at the end of the game was like, well, if we'd had the extra point, we would have won this game. Or if they wouldn't have recovered that fumble, which was like such an act of fucking the universe just wanted them to have it. Was like, oh, man, that's like, as a 49er fan, it's like they played really well. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they didn't play well. They did. It was like a hard-fought fight. I do think that objectively the 49ers did play a little bit better, but that's just the Chiefs got a couple of really like it just out of nowhere, these plays where it led to points or 49ers not scoring, which was crazy. Yeah. Anyway, I think we've got like 10 minutes left.
Yeah. Our free Google.
Yeah, I know. It keeps asking me, do you want to go premium? I don't want to go premium. That's fine. I don't want to do that. Anyhow, yeah. So, but that's so man, there was so many segues in there of like, this conversation is like a bag full of cats already. So, but you want to go to Brazil.
Colombia. I mean, I do want to go back to Brazil, but Colombia.
You did say Colombia. That's right. And I said Cartagena. That's right. Okay. So you have a couple weeks to decide. Don't you have to, like, if you're going to travel the country, don't you have to have decided by now?
Not necessarily. It depends. That's why I'm like, It might be a little too late. I don't know. Maybe we should just go to Tahoe or something.
I mean, I'd be down.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I feel like I just need a break. I just need to go somewhere and clear my head. Go, I don't know, stick my head in an ice bucket or something.
Okay. I like that. When is spring break?
Middle of March. So March.
Okay. I like it.
11th through March 11th through whatever 15th.
March 11th through the 15th. Okay. We'll make it happen.
Yeah. Hey, that'd be nice. Just want to like I said, I just need to get out, get away, clear my head. I feel like it really helps. Like, have you gone for like a long walk and you just feel so much better? Like everything is just there's like a strong mental clarity. It's like that times 100 for me.
Oh, traveling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, usually it's running where I'm like, I'm just going to go run for an hour. And it's like, because I just get to let my mind drift. Although I'm at an age where I'm like, I think I have to stop running. Like I do plenty, like I can do martial arts or weights and stuff in the garage. It's just one of those things, like I every time I run now, I'm more and more beat up. You know what I mean? My knees and my legs and my calf muscle is like pulled, and I don't know. It's just like I think I have to cap the running for a while and do something else. Yoga and boxing or something.
Yoga's so good. It's good for you. It makes you calmer. Makes your mind better, your body better.
Anytime I do some intense stretching, with either yoga or martial arts or something like that, I'm the next day I'm always like, dude, I need to do this way more often. And then it's immediately out the window. It's like I just never think to do it again. But anytime I do it, you're absolutely right. It feels great.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing, man. All right, brother. I think we should probably wrap this up before our timer wraps up.
Before it kicks us off. Okay. Yeah. All right. But that is a good place to finish the podcast. If you guys made it to the end, thank you very much. Yeah. We're going to try to have these out at a healthier clip this time and not go 8 months without a podcast.
One minor thing before we end this thing is that, we have that new AI technology.
Okay. All right. Let's talk Let's talk for 5 minutes about AI. So I fought it. And we had that one clip that was like, I don't like the idea of AI. Well, here's the thing. So now people are starting to integrate this technology into other programs. One of them is a video editing program. And so there is this AI plugin that you can have for Adobe Premiere, which is what we edit our podcasts in. So we have our video sources, our audio sources, and then we can do the camera 1 and camera 2. So there's a plugin that will match the audio to the video. So it will edit the whole podcast for you in like an hour-long podcast in 3-4 minutes or something like that. So we were able to kick this out, and it'll supposedly will give us some clips for social. So it'll give us 5 to 10 clips of, interesting things. We'll see. We've tried this technology before, and it gave us some clips that were interesting, but there was zero context to it. So there's usually some editing around that. But now we have to see if this is going to work. So the new podcast, and if this works like it says it is, we're hopefully going to have weekly podcast versus monthly, because it used to take 4 or 5 hours to edit a podcast and all of the social posts and then get all of those scheduled. And it's like, I don't have time being a full-time employee / father 3. I don't have time to do all that. And, now if there is a machine that will do it for me, then we can increase our content output by like 4 or 5x. So
yeah, then we just got to record, filter, send out.
Turn on the camera. Yes, but you still have to remember to send me the videos.
Right.
You did record it this time, right?
Yeah. I got you.
On your phone?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh man. And so you can
I could hear your voice through the text message when I was like, "Can you just try it on your phone, please?" And you were like, I could hear it. You're fine, I'll set it up. You record social videos on that thing all the time. It shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of setup and work.
Is it?
Yeah, man. You should see this. I've turned the living room into like a whole production studio, and I have to take it all down too. So it's a process.
I believe you. All right, fine. All right, well, that's it for us.
Stay funky fresh.
What'd you forget your line? You have one line. Keep it funky fresh. My God. All right, we'll see you next time.